Hello, everybody. So, I'm going to talk a little bit more about human design and how our aura talks to each other before our mind kicks in, before we really know mentally a lot about the other person, or in case we know the person already, we can pick up their energy, what they're feeling, their emotions, how they're going to impact us, whether we want to be around them or not at this particular moment. And these are all things that happen on a subconscious level, and it can also be partly conscious. So, if you're an empath, you're clairsentient, right? This is your gift. And of course, we need to heal our empath wound. But once we've done that, the clairsentience can really become this beautiful way of tuning into other people, knowing what's up with them, seeing their shadows, but seeing also their light, knowing what's ours, what's theirs. Not reading too much into their energy, but sort of using little clues and our neutral awareness of gauging who's right for us and who's not right for us. And we all have that gift of clairsentience to some extent. It's just being able to feel. And this comes basically from just being able to be aware of other people's aura field, being aware of our own body and the energies that are felt in our body, that are activated, or in our emotional body. Because clairsentience can really be physical or emotional, or sometimes both. And the physical is more the sensations, and the emotional is more the emotions, of course. Um, and this is something I'm really sitting with and deepening for myself, for my own practice, because I've had some experiences where I can really, really see how my intuition was warning me. And I was heeding it, but maybe not fast enough or deep enough or trusting it deep enough. So I'm following my intuition for such a long time now. And even human design, like I had my big spiritual awakening in 2012. This is when I quit my art school studies and I went traveling to eco villages. And um, I'm a bit older than I look. And so I've been on this spiritual awakening path for 12 years. I've been following my strategy and authority for 12 years. This is also when I encountered human design in that year. And I've been trusting my intuition and my gut feeling, which are my authorities in human design. I do have splenic uh, guided sacral authority. So I have both of these centers activated. So I do have a really succinct intuition in the now. And it's really fickle. Like it can turn from moment to moment. So I might resonate with somebody for a while and then suddenly I want to get up and leave. Not that this happens in every conversation, but this could be the case when somebody is a bit out of alignment in their energy. Maybe they're carrying certain frequencies and I'm tired that day. My energy field can just shift to a big don't want to be here anymore. And I've learned to heed that and listen to that, because this is the aura talking, right? This is that person's aura signaling certain things to my aura and me picking it up through my inner authority. And this is how we can access actually our innate wisdom. And I do feel that accessing our inner gifts, our psychic gifts, is accessed through following our strategy and authority in human design, um, because this connects us to our vehicle, our body, our vessel, and this is the felt. This is the experiential part of life where it's out of the mind and we're just trusting in what we're feeling. And every single authority in human design has a bodily authority. It's not in the mind, it's never in the mind. Even if you're a mental projector and the only things that you have activated are in the mind, your authority is to listen to your voice, which is, physical. It's to feel all of these energies moving through your system, just like a reflector would in the open centers below your throat. Sitting with them, gathering wisdom, feeling the emotions, feeling the sacral, feeling the energy levels, feeling the well-being, the intuition, like all of these centers. It's all about feeling, and it's just how are we consistently defined in that feeling that makes up our inner authority. So for me, it's sacral. Maybe for you, it's emotional. You have the solar plexus defined in your human design chart, and then that's going to be your inner authority. And you have to wait out your emotional wave and process things, give things a bit more time. Um, sleep on it a few nights, and then when your emotion is clear, when there's a certain clarity, you know what to do. So we all have this feeling based inner authority. Only when we trust that will we start to access our inner wisdom, our inner intuition, our gut feeling, our spiritual awareness. And then our psychic gifts can come more online. Maybe we naturally have this really beautiful gift of inner vision, of clairvoyance. This is your tone in human design, by the way, in your view. So look that up. It's a little rabbit hole that you can go into. But it doesn't have to be. So for me, it's a smell, but I'm not really clair or olfactant, I think it's the word. I'm more so claircognizant. So anyway, doesn't really translate directly. But my point is, we have all of these different ways that we can pick up energy from other people's auras. Um, and we can register red flags in people before we mentally understand that. And that's definitely for me a challenge. And let me know if you relate. That you just feel something about somebody, something that's off, and like mentally you're like, no, like why do I have this resistance against this person? Maybe I'm projecting, right? We self-blame if we are a bit more on the codependent side. We think that everybody's stuff is our stuff to fix and solve. If we're like having this savior complex, we're like a healer. um I don't know what I was counting, but yeah, we get this information from all of these different layers of somebody's being. We get it from their mental field, we get it from their emotional field, we get it from even physical. Some of us feel when somebody physically is out of alignment, and we can feel their sort of their illness in our own body. And with that, it's really important to not take it on as an energy, but just observe it. It can't harm you, just information that you feel. You don't have to be afraid of it, and this is with everything. Everything that goes through us is just information. When we start to fear it, we go into the mind and we start to spin into stories. That's when the energy tends to get stuck in our body. But when we just are able to observe it and remain in our awareness state and connect to the wholeness of who we are, that's when it just passes through fairly quickly. I'm just going to remember what I said just now. Right, this is what I was counting. I have an undefined mind, in case you didn't notice. Can't hold a thought. Okay, so we might think it's our projection of them, but we also might feel like we're just imagining it, like we're making it up, and this is self-doubt, right? So the first thing is self-blame, the second thing is self-doubt. This is when we tend to gaslight ourselves. We have this inner part of us that has learned to hide our gifts from ourselves so that we wouldn't be ostracized for them from other people. So this is a massive wound, and I do help you to start to heal this wound in my course, Reclaim Your Psychic Gifts. So check that out. The links are all below from all of my courses. Um, it's a really good way to start healing. So we can have self-blame, self-doubt. Maybe there are other things, but I think these are the two main ones that can make us go into the mind and start shaming ourselves, doubting ourselves, even guilting ourselves for having these thoughts. Like we might feel like, yeah, maybe that's a third reason. Like we might feel like we're not a good spiritual person if we judge someone else for having a shadow. This is such a huge part that I'm still personally catching myself to do. And it's so unhelpful because we're just basically damaging our own safety protective mechanism, because we need to have an intuition that alerts us to potential shadows and dangers in other people's personalities. it's not a judgment of that they're wrong and we're right, but it's just an assessment of, hey, this thing that's inside of this person that I'm seeing, it could potentially harm me. It could come out in this way or this way or this way. And we just get this sense that we need to keep clear of that person, or maybe not talk to them right now, or maybe not talk to them when we're vulnerable and have certain boundaries around that, you know? Instead of thinking that we're a bad person if we see darkness. So the new age actually has been infiltrated by these, let's just say, darker forces or forces of conditioning, that want to keep us in like this lower state of what human design calls homogenization, which is a beautiful term, where we're all the same person and there's no individual identity. Um, and when we guilt ourselves into like about seeing the shadows around us, what does that do? It keeps us from differentiating, it keeps us from having boundaries, it keeps us from being like, hey, this is not okay in that person, I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to shift and change. And seeing how other people are configured, how they're different, getting details about that, it's actually a force of awakening. It's something that we can see both within ourselves and in others when we're starting to awaken. So I'm also not saying to only see the badness in other people and not in ourselves, because sometimes it is a direct mirror, sometimes it is not a direct mirror, but it has something to teach us about what we're allowing into our lives and how we should have better boundaries, right? So this is also a major trap that a lot of spiritual malicious cults use. They say, "Oh, you're just projecting," when you're seeing something like a red flag in the cult leader or a teacher or whatever. You're just projecting. It's your fault. Like you're to blame. It's your and there's this guilt tactic, right? This guilt and shame tactic. And when you're already having these three wounds of like gaslighting yourself about what you're feeling, what you're picking up with your body, with your inner authority, it's really easy to just start to suppress it more and more under the influence of these cults or religion. Any conditioning force in this world that is organized and wants to homogenize people. Um, so when you encounter something like that, really ask yourself: Does this people, do these people, does this group want me to find my own unique self, or do they want to make me like everybody else? If you're being shamed for seeing a shadow in somebody, um, really ask yourself: Am I safe enough to have personal boundaries here? And if that's not the case, if everything is to be made your fault for having a boundary, then that could potentially be a red flag. And these are our lessons in life. These are um, maybe the things that we encounter on our spiritual path, that is karmic, that is from past lives, these groups, these people that we go to learn our deepest lessons with. Maybe it's these exact spiritual groups, you know, um, and it can be hard to discern, but that's where our inner authority comes in. And it takes a while, it takes years. According to Ruhu, it takes 7 years to actually decondition from living from the mind into living from the inner authority, to actually be able to live as ourselves. Because in 7 years, all of the cells in our body have been replaced with new ones. So the old cells that were programmed from in living from the mind, they're gone then. But when we still have these cells inside of us, we can want to follow our inner authority. We can want to follow our true, unique inner compass and guidance, etc. But we might still get swept up into our mind because this is just what's still in our body, you know. So we cannot do it with the mind alone. We cannot elevate with the mind alone. Ascension and all of that, it's a physical journey. It's something that we do with the body. Our mind can tap all in our mind can tap into all dimensions simultaneously. And I try to say that in all ways simultaneously. So I tripped over my words. So our minds are all already multidimensional. Our minds are already ascended. Our personality is not what needs to ascend right now. It is our body that's ascending, and we are releasing pent up trauma from way, way back, activating our DNA, and yeah, releasing cultural conditioning. It's no small feat what we're doing here. We're cleaning up lifetimes and eons of conditioning, gunk, trauma from our cells, from our DNA. So there's a lot to unpack here, right? It doesn't go overnight. I've been following my strategy and authority for 12 years in human design. So I have like shifted more so away from the mind and more so into my physical body. But it's still an everyday process of awareness of, hey, oh, wait, I just got taken over by this part of me, or I kind of lost myself in my mind for a while, and I couldn't find my way to pure awareness, passenger consciousness, witness consciousness, however you want to call that. So it never ends. Like, we can decondition and shift our body and, change our cells, but it's an ongoing journey, and it takes time. So take the pressure off of like perfectionism or fear. Anything that you're doing today is good enough for today, because this is your life path that your soul chose. If you um if you should like get at the perfected state immediately, you wouldn't have incarnated, because then you would just be there and there would be no time in between. But you came here to experience the time in between, the deconditioning, the journey from lack to abundance, the journey from fear to love, the journey from the negative to the positive polarity, the 3D to the 5D, or the multidimensional awakening. So we came here to experience all of that. And what I found is that the ways our aura talk to each other and inform us about each other, and the way we access that through our inner authority, is really such a big part of that awakening, because it's through other people that we learn some of our biggest lessons. And yeah, our aura, it's basically, we all have a type of aura. So the way in which our aura is designed to take in energy from the environment, or maybe not take us in as much energy from the environment but put the energy out, is all structured in four main types. And this is where human design comes in. And I think it's so beautiful what human design brings to the table, because it's so unique, and I love how it has become more mainstream. And I think everybody that's into spirituality just slightly has heard of human design, because it's so mainstream in the spiritual community right now. And I think that's amazing, and we do need that for the years to come. So yeah, I think learning about our aura and how it interacts with the world, and how we can use that information to empower us and to make our life less resistant, that is such an important piece to the puzzle. And that's what makes me feel so passionate about this. And this is also why I have these 4 courses about these 4 aura types. So that's a generator, manifesting generator, projector, and manifester. I have the courses for these 4 types. And actually, the manifesting generator are one aura type. They have the same aura. So there's a 5th type, which is the reflector, but there's so little of them, and my channel is so still quite small in terms of who actually watches my videos, that I haven't had any reflectors really ask me about the course. So if you want me to create a course for reflectors, please let me know, and I'll respond to that, and I'll make one if I have a response. But basically, I have these 4 courses. And the manifesting generator is a little bit different from the generator in terms of how fast you move and how you manifest. But the aura is the same. And in these courses, I teach you to feel your aura, to feel how your energy interacts with the outside world. And I think this, for me, in my human design journey, was the most important piece. And this is what I taught myself, basically. This is my own trial and error process of trying to figure it out with my mind and failing. And then getting into my body and actually starting to feel what does it mean to wait to respond, which is my strategy as a generator. What does it mean to have an enveloping aura, which is the aura type of the generator? We have an enveloping aura. Manifesting generators, same thing, enveloping everything around us. No discernment, just everything in all directions simultaneously at once. And people can feel that enveloping energy. They can feel that hug of our aura, especially if we're emotionally defined. It can feel very warm, depending on like where you're at in the emotional wave or whatever. Or if you have tribal emotional channel, or yeah, just tribal channels, it can feel incredibly warm. But it can also feel very distorted when people are really out of alignment, because then you carry a lot of frustration in your aura. Is this way of trying to push your energy out while it should be coming in. It should flow in. So I teach the discernment of that. I teach you to feel that and to sit in that energy and to actually take it in, and to use your strategy and your inner authority of the sacral, of the response. And also if you're emotional, you can use that too. In my courses about the generator, manifesting generator, and there's a huge sale that I have for 2 weeks. So check out the courses. They have 25% off. So if you want to jump in and learn more about your art types, now is your chance. And then the manifester as well, and the projector. I do have courses for these types too. A lot of, I think, manifestors especially have come to me over the years saying, I don't understand my type, or I don't feel like a manifester at all. Like it says I'm like really like powerful and I can manifest everything. I just don't recognize myself in that. And this could be because it's unconsciously defined for you. So check that out if there's a red channel in your chart. But it could also be because you're just very out of alignment with your manifested power. And that's also why I wanted to create this course for you, so that you can actually feel that power, and feel your aura doing its magic. The course is called Manifestor Magic. And then the projector, you're designed for success. So it's called the Plentiful Projector. Um, you're designed for success. You're designed to really hone your aura into the other person. So it's not like a generator that's just everything, enveloping everything. You're just really honing into one person at a time. Your aura kind of funnels into the center of that person, the core of them, and you can read them really well. So when we talk about how the aura talks, the projector is the best at listening because of how your aura works. The projector is here to know the other person, and through that they know who they are and what they can offer to the other person or can offer to the world, and what they're here to do. And it's all learned through relationship. So that's really a key element for the projectors, to look at. How are you in relationships with everybody around you? How does your aura interact with them? What are you picking up? So I teach 3 major steps to actually become plentiful and go out of that bitterness of not feeling seen and not feeling recognized that a lot of projectors feel, and to start really feel seen and recognized, and down that will lead to success. So there are really three steps that I've discerned for the projector to follow to actually use your strategy and authority as a projector. So yeah, these courses are all up for sale until June 16th. So check them out. All the links are below. Um, and I want to talk about human design more the coming time. I think it's so massively interesting. I'm learning a lot about the spiritual parts of human design, and this has been a long time coming. I was always kind of circling around that, and I knew it was there, but I just didn't have the response or the alignment to actually start to study this part of human design. It's so expansive, human design. You can study it for years and years and years and never be done. There's so many different things to learn here. But yeah, but basically I'm learning now about the mystical and the human design, the spiritual awakening, the guides, how we're designed to encounter guides, how we're designed to work with them from a human design lens. It is so spot on. So for me, yeah, it's like yeah, I can't wait to share more about this, because it really sums up why I am a Starseed channel, why I literally have this YouTube channel and talk about the beings that I talk about. And yeah, it's so beautiful. But you really need your strategy and authority before you even embark on that encounter journey. So this information will probably only reach and like trigger, or like in a good way, like ignite the people that are ready for that. Because you really need to first be in touch with your body, with your inner authority, with your feeling senses in before you embark on it from your mind. You'll just misinterpret the information. So in order to do that, you need to follow your strategy and authority. And my courses, my human design courses, are all about the strategy of human design. Every aura type has a different strategy in which they eliminate resistance in their lives, and their aura, their vehicle, can sort of move through space and time in a most unobstructed kind of way. And you'll just receive what you need to receive. You'll interact with life and the life force that moves through you in the correct way. You're not depleting yourself, you're not burning yourself out. And yeah, you can use your energy for the right things, instead of being frustrated as a generator, or bitter as a projector, or angry as a manifester because things don't go your way and you just meet resistance everywhere. And this can be hugely subconscious, and I talk about that in a manifestor magic course. How that theme of anger, which is your not self theme, which is the sign of being out of alignment, how it can manifest for a lot of manifestors that don't recognize themselves in that at all. So yeah, really check that out. Let me know in the comments below if you if you have experiences where you got an intuitive hit about somebody based on what you picked up from their aura, from their energy field, and how that turned out to be true, how that was a warning sign for you. Even in a positive sense, like we can feel like this recognition, this instant connection to people just from their energy alone. We don't even know what their name is, where they're coming from, whatever. So yeah, this is so interesting, and I feel like I've only just skimmed the top of this whole subject in this video. So yeah, please comment below if you're interested in hearing more. That always lights me up even more to talk about it. And yeah, I wish you so much fun exploring this and awakening to this more and more, so that you can also move through life with that recognition of your intuitive gifts and stop gaslighting, self doubting, self blaming, self guilting about these intuitive hits, and actually hear and feel and see and know what's going on a psychic level. So, if that resonates with you, and if you are interested in all of the topics that I talked about in this video, definitely keep your eyes peeled for the coming time. I am going to be a bit under the radar for the coming 2 weeks because of vacation and stuff. So I won't be able to really kick this off until the end of June-ish. But in the meantime, the coming 2 weeks, you can get my human design courses at a discounted rate. So really jump in, and then you'll be like armed and ready with the knowledge of following your strategy, being in the abundance of your aura type, before what I'm going to do next, and really start connecting more of like the spirit guides with human design, and like the mystical and human design, all of that beautiful stuff. So I can't wait. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see a little bit longer. So wishing you a beautiful day, and have a beautiful day. Okay.